Hey guys, welcome back to my channel. My name is Allie if you're new here. I just sat down to edit this vlog and realized I don't have an intro. You'll see in the coming up clip where my hair is a tragic mess that I'm like, I'm gonna do the intro later when I have makeup on. I didn't do that, or I did, and it's been so long ago that I don't remember, and maybe that was some of the footage that got corrupted on one of my cards. I don't know. Here I am. This vlog is all about mood reading. It's kind of a rambly mess in the beginning, so just stay with it. It's a fun time. It was just very chaotic. I was very excited. The first part of this vlog is me bleaching my hair and then making it pink. And then I went to a Hayley Williams concert with my sister. So it was a little all over the place. I was managing a lot of things all in that day of getting ready for the concert. So after that is over, things kind of level out a little bit, and it definitely is more of a mood reading vlog at that point. But yeah, I just had a lot of books sitting around on my shelf or just on my TBR in general that like I don't have plans for, and I'm like, I want to read these books. So I just started picking them up and reading them and took you guys along with me. So I hope you enjoy. There is timestamps down below if you want to skip around, if you don't want to see certain moments, or if you're just here for the book reviews and all of that like always. But yeah. Anyways, I hope you enjoy my chaotic mood reading slash concert slash new pink hair vlog.
The maze inside their heads, they're all so ahead. I can't keep up, everything's so confusing. What should I do if all the words I utter turn to nothing into dust? It'd be so surreal if you could find any meaning in the dust. What should I feel?
I'm so tired. I'm actually gonna grab my latte really quick. Still got my jammies on, but it's a busy day. I did something last night. Isn't that my mug cute? I actually, like, this is the first time in a while that I've done my hair when my mental health was okay. Usually, like, my mental health isn't doing good. You know, when Allie starts messing with her hair, probably should check in on her, but I'm gonna lie, it's making me kind of want to cut my bangs again, which I was telling James, I was like, I think I'm over the blunt bangs for a little bit. Like, I think I'm gonna let them grow out this summer because, like, I just don't have it in me to style them every single day. And for the most part, I can usually get them to be okay, and then I just use like hairspray and stuff. No, that's my latte. What are you doing? Salem. Anyways, they grow out so fast too. Like, I need to cut them so bad, but I was like, I'm just gonna let them grow out and do my part again, which is fine. Either way, it's fine. But I bleached it last night. I didn't film because we were underneath tornado warning and then even tornado watch because there was so many funnel clouds coming our way. It was scary. I feel like we're all triggered from last year. We got really bad weather and a tornado literally went right over our house last year. It was just one that was like in the sky, like spiraling and spinning down. It actually landed right outside of our town, the one that went over our house. We actually had two. One barreled through our town and destroyed so much stuff. It was a little ways from us, but the one that went over us was just a funnel cloud, and it had just gotten low enough to where it like really wrecked our neighborhoods like around us. There was trees and houses. So many roofs were damaged, ours included. We had to have a whole brand new roof and stuff. So yeah, last night was just like a little triggering. So I kind of hung out with some friends, and because we have a basement, we all had to hit the basement at one point. And yeah, it was just kind of a long night. But in between that, I was like, I'm gonna do my hair. Maybe that's why I did it, because I was like, I'm going through it mentally with these storms. I think we could get some bad weather tonight, and I'm hoping it's not too bad because I have a long drive. But anyways, I'm gonna intro this video later when I have makeup on, so you guys know what I'm doing today. I'm still figuring it out myself currently. But today is Hayley Williams Day, and I'm so excited. I was talking to my son this morning. I was like, I've been a Hayley Williams fan since I was like 10 or 11. Like, I was young and I was already like obsessed with Paramore. Like, I remember liking Paramore when like their first album was out, you know, like I've always loved Paramore, and I've always loved Hayley's solo career as well. All the music and stuff she makes, it's just phenomenal. And I too was sad that her 2020 tour was canceled. I probably would have went if it wasn't because of everything going on during that time, but it just, you know, didn't work out. But in 2023, I believe, that was when Paramore did This Is Why tour, and I went to that with some friends, and I absolutely loved it. Her vocals, insane. And then, you know, she dropped another solo album, and when I tell you guys, it's one of my all-time favorite albums. It is so good. I absolutely love it. I have it playing all the time here, and oh my gosh, I'm just so excited. I've heard that the set list is literally like the entire album, and that is so exciting. Yeah, I too did not get tickets on ticket day. If you don't want to hear about any of this, I don't care if you skip ahead or go to a timestamp, but ticket day was like insane. All of her shows sold out like within minutes, and even when I got through and I was there, like I had an alarm set, I was there right on time. There was like thousands upon thousands upon thousands of people ahead of me. Like, it was insane. They tried to do like everything they could to avoid scalpers, but like, it's just impossible, honestly. I'm really excited for the venue. It looks really cool and very intimate, and I love that. But at the same time, Hayley has such a big fan base that I too am sitting here wondering, like, why are we not just getting like stadiums? And that way we don't have to worry about, you know, people not getting tickets, or we don't have to worry about, you know, all the scalpers. Like, they'll get some of them, but not all of them, and we'll have more of a chance of snagging at least a seat. I will take a fucking nosebleed seat for Hayley Williams. Like, I don't care. As long as I am in the room and listening and vibing, I don't care. So anyways, I was super bummed about it. I was like, man, I'm not gonna be able to go to this tour. It sucks so bad. And then a few months after that, when I tell you guys, I stayed checking every single ticket app. I was checking all the time. And I was like, as soon as one hits a price range I can do, I'm good. Originally, also, her tickets were only $75, which is insane. And she said that that's what she wanted it to be for, you know, her fans. And yeah, insane to go from $75 to, they were like $600 for a while, up to $1,000. And I was just like, this is insane. Like, I'm not giving that money to scalpers. So anyways, I finally, I don't even remember how much I paid for them. I just remember I had got on there one day and I was like, oh my gosh, I can do that. I can buy them. I was so excited. I jumped on it, bought 2 tickets, and then I sent the screenshot to my sister because she's the one that I originally planned with to go with. And I was like, you still down to go? I really hope you are, because I got tickets to Nashville night 3. So yeah, anyways, since it was through a third party though, when I tell you guys, I know that they're trying to avoid and like screw over the scalpers, but like you're hurting the fans, because it has been a fucking nightmare trying to get my ticket to just like, to know that it's valid. And since it's through a third party, it's not showing up in my Access app, which is what it's ran by. And I've heard that some people have had issues with having invalid tickets and stuff like that and not being able to get in. And so I've just been so nervous. And I keep calling the place that I got like the third party, and they're just like, don't worry, we'll give you your money back. And I'm like, I don't want my money back. I want to see this show. So yesterday I also spent most of my day between work and storms calling people and being on the phone and like fighting like all day for my tickets. It was a nightmare. And so far what I've gathered is that as long as I have that secure link with the barcode, I should be good. But I was like, okay, but like this is a third party, so like, is this completely valid? Like it doesn't even have my name on it. It has the original buyer's name on it. And they're like, yeah, you'll have no problem. Usually names don't matter. They just want that secure barcode. I'm like, okay, I guess we'll see. I have no idea. So I ended up calling my sister, because the last resort was, it said to call the venue. When I tell you, I've tried calling the venue for like 3-4 days now, and their line, they never pick up. I'm gonna try it again today just so that I can call ahead and see, as long as I have that barcode and maybe like even a screenshot of like my ticket receipt, if I'll be fine. But I'm so nervous. I'm hoping it goes okay and that we have no issues and we just get in. But besides that, I just called my sister last night and I was like, look, like we could get up there and they could like not let us in. And I said, it's gonna suck. I mean, I know that the third party will like give me my money back if I, you know, contact them immediately and say I can't get in. But you know, I'm just like, let's just still make a trip of it and, you know, hope that we get in. So that's what we're planning on doing today. So I hope this video isn't like a hot mess to where I'm like, it's the Hayley Williams concert and I'm so excited. And I'm also, I think for this video this week, I'm going to be reading stuff that I have, or, you know, stuff out there that I don't have that like has been on my TBR for a while, like stuff that I want to read. This week is all about mood reading. I want to read what I want to read. So it's supposed to be a good week. It's supposed to be a Hayley Williams concert. It's supposed to be reading, you know, mood reading and just having fun with it, not having like a structured theme. And I'm gonna get up, I just hope I don't get up there and they're like, nope, that's not valid, you can't get in. And then I'm gonna be like, this week is the worst. Anyways, now that I'm done talking about the tickets, okay, the hair, because I gotta get busy with it. It's still early, so I have time. Honestly, you guys, I think that's a vibe. I'm vibing with the bleach. It almost looks like a peach moment, so I'm like, that's kind of cool. But then, because of my red that was still fading, we still have so much of it in here that it's turned some of it orange. The top of my roots are yellow, and that makes it not really as much of a vibe for me. So I'm bummed, because I'm like, if I would have washed my hair with like purple shampoo, I feel like it would have been better, but I didn't have any on hand. So I think I'm just gonna pull the trigger and we're gonna go with pink. I've been wanting to go pink for like a year now. I've had the dye and I've just been putting it off. I am using Hayley and Brian's brand Good Dye Young. I used their lightning kit last night, and then today I'm using their like hot pink semi-permanent. So it washes out over time. I was telling James, I was like, I think I'm gonna go pink, just have fun with it for the rest of the spring, some of the summer, you know, and then when I'm tired of it or when it's fading and washing out, I'm probably just gonna go back to like my bold red, you know, to kind of like phase it out. But I have, for the most part, I've only ever used like semi-permanents for the most part, but I have went like a blue-green one time, which was really weird, and it took forever. It wasn't Good Dye Young. It took forever to wash out. I practically just had to regrow out my hair after that one. But besides that, I really have only ever done red and orange colors. So like red hair colors, you know? So I'm excited to do something different. And I'm so scared though. Like I'm so nervous to put it in my hair today. So I'm gonna use you guys to keep me accountable to get this shit done so that we can leave like early afternoon. Our drive to Nashville is like a little over 4 hours. So it's gonna be a long drive there, a late night because the show doesn't start till 7:30. The venue is gorgeous though. And then it's probably gonna be like an hour for like the opener, which I need to look up more of their music. I don't know too much. I think I've only listened to a couple of theirs. I think it's like Water on Your Eyes, I think is what it's called. And then I'm sure Hayley comes out probably like 8:30. Usually that's how it goes. It's like an hour after it opens. I'm sure her set is like an hour or an hour and a half-ish. So late night coming home for sure. I'm either gonna crash at my grandparents' house with my sister or make the drive back home and crash. But I did take off work tomorrow, so that's a plus. Building a TBR for this week. I don't want to spend too much time on this, so I don't really know. Like I said, I think that this is going to be more of a mood read vibe this week. So I don't really want to build a TBR, but I also would like to start reading something while I'm doing my hair and getting ready today. And you know what? It's a mood read vibe. So TBR, we're winging it this week, and it's just the vibe that I feel that day when I start a book. I loved The Eyes Are the Best Part by Monika Kim, so I am so excited for Molka. And this cover, oh my god, I've heard amazing things. It's also not too long. I believe this is like, yeah, an IT, in an unassuming Seoul workplace, IT technician Jun Young's network reaches throughout the entire building. He sees every entrance, every lobby, every bathroom. The women in the building may be cold and dismissive, but he can always pull up his favorite images of them and remember who holds the real power. Until one day, Day sets herself apart from the rest. Ever the romantic, yearns to be cherished after years of living in the shadow of her perfect older sister who tragically drowned years ago. Only her boyfriend seems to appreciate Day. He's rich, handsome, and generous, and she'd do anything to hold on to the happiness he brings her. But when a hidden camera scandal rocks the city's elites, Day's dreams of a fairy tale romance twist into a grotesque nightmare. Her boyfriend abandons her, her parents reject her, her grip on reality begins to shatter as visions of her dead sister suddenly appear. And as Jun Young's interest in Day turns to obsession and the truths of their troubled lives are revealed, Day must go to extreme lengths to bring the truth to light. I don't know. Sounds like a good time, and if it's anything unhinged like The Eyes Are the Best Part, I'm here for it. This is what it looks like underneath. But yeah, I am stoked to start this. I guess start my hair. Woo! It's dedicated for the survivors, and there's actually a definition for Molka, the Korean term for hidden or miniature spy camera secretly and illegally installed, often to capture voyeuristic images and videos. Molka is an abbreviation of Molre camera, which means a sneaky camera. There's also an author's note, so I will get into that. And then I love how each chapter is like a video camera, or like I guess just a camera.
What should I do with all the words I uttered? Turn to nothing into dust. It'd be so surreal.
Okay, you guys, quick check-in really quick. She's gonna be so bright. I'm so excited though. It's been a minute since I've left you guys. I am about to go shower this out already. I've had it in my hair for a little over an hour. Don't judge me on how I do my semi-permanents, okay? It is pretty stiff. And I know, like, when you're doing dye, a lot of the time you're supposed to keep it, like, not dry. I do my own hair at home. I'm not too particular about it. I've used this type of semi-permanent many times and I just kind of wing it. I am so excited to go wash this out though, and then I'm gonna let it air dry for a little bit, I think, while I get things ready and stuff and lay out my clothes and do all of that. It's been nice to be off today and just kind of like chill this morning. It's been like my first chill morning in a long time, which leads me to my update because I didn't realize that there's not an audiobook for Molka yet. So this is going to be a physical read completely. I read a little bit, not too bad, but I didn't get to read while I was putting this in, only afterwards. And I have been starting some laundry, and also I made my lunch. It's a very early lunch. It's 11 right now, but I just ate because I was like, I'd rather eat now so that I have time to like get ready because I'm going to leave like early afternoon. So yeah, and I think we're gonna get food when we get there, so yeah. Made it a little ways. Kind of the setup so far, we have been jumping chapter to chapter from our character Day, and what's creepy boy's name? I forgot. Jun Young. So when we're with him, he is talking about looking at the cameras on his phone. He has set up microscopic cameras in each stall in the woman's bathroom at his workplace. And that is kind of what gets him by day to day, is watching women go and use the bathroom. He describes what color underwear they're wearing. He describes what they look like, how it makes him feel. He is a fucking creep. Also learned that he works in IT, and the same women that he is seeing going to the bathroom every day, he is also going and helping them fix their computers and trying to come across as like this charming guy, when in reality he is a sicko. And if anything, the real horror from that is that there is a literal men like this out in the world, and that is fucking scary. Anyways, besides that, we then jump to Day, who I am really enjoying. I hope that's how you pronounce her name. If I had the audiobook, I feel like I would know a little bit more, but she is a girl that has lived in Seoul, has been raised in Seoul, and she also works at the same place. She's referred to as Pink Panties by Jun Young. Yeah, he thinks of them as the color of their underwear or what they wear. Yeah. We're kind of getting to know her a little bit. It starts with her being on a date with her boyfriend, and we slowly learn like who he is. He's like this big CEO type guy for his family owns, I forgot what it's called, YS Media. So it's like the media company that produces like all of like the K-pop artists and stuff like that, and his brother has taken over leading it, so he is going to do the same like in the States and like branch out their company. Immediately she's like, he's out of my league, like this isn't gonna work. But we do get like a flashback moment of her meeting him for the first time, and then their like first date, and there's like awkward, you know, things going on, and she's overthinking it, and then she's like, oh, he's never gonna call you back, that type of ordeal. I feel like it just kind of is showing her character a little bit more and showing us that she is a little insecure and her self-esteem is pretty low, and that's partially due to the fact that she, in some way we haven't found out yet, her sister died 5 years ago, and it's just been the anniversary, and she was out on a date. When she got home, her mom was there, and her mom was mad because she's like, it's the anniversary of your sister. We were supposed to go and mourn her like we do every year. And her mom's very harsh with her, making her feel like she's a disappointment, and maybe her mother would have liked her sister to live more than her. Yeah, I feel like there's a lot of character development there as far as, or I guess just character knowledge for us going into the story and knowing like what to expect with her. And I feel like there's going to be character development, more growth and stuff because of that. And hopefully she is the one that like takes down this creep. But that's the buildup for it. I feel like this is the type of book where I won't want to say too much more about it as I go, just because I don't want to spoil too much, but I am really excited to see where it goes. Like I said, it's a physical, which works out because today when I've had my earbuds in, I've honestly been listening to Hayley Williams. So I'm not listening to an audiobook that much. So I think this is actually perfect. I'm not going to be able to do much reading anyways with like driving. I'm sure we're going to be listening to tunes. I'm not going to force like my audiobooks on my sister. But yeah, and then we're just going to be chilling. And then by the time I get home, I'm going to be out. But like I said, I'm off tomorrow. So I'm going to catch up on sleep tomorrow. And I do have to get some things done around the house, so I will probably switch and maybe try to find an audiobook to listen to, but I will definitely take the time to sit down and work on this week as well. It's just been busy, so I know I need an audiobook as well to be able to give you guys more bookish updates. I'm gonna go wash this out and then I guess start getting ready soon. I'm so excited.
Call me when it goes to shit. I'll be keeping the house the way it was.
I think Grady wants to be in the video. You're never in my videos. Can you say hi? Can you say hi? I forgot. My kids call her naked when she doesn't have her collar on. You're still naked, aren't you? You're still naked, aren't you? I washed your collar. Okay. Don't sit on my books. Okay. Sit down. Okay, you can sit right there. You can sit right there. Sit. Oh, Riley. Riley. Okay, good girl. Lay down. Lay down. Good girl. Okay, so now that's her tail wagging. Hello. It's been a minute since I've checked in. I'm losing daylight. So I just threw my lamp on over there. So sorry if like the quality isn't the best, but it's been a couple days since I've left you. I've been feeling it. I think I'm getting the post-concert depression. Oh, it was so good though. Oh my gosh. I will just say it was kind of a hot mess. I don't think I've checked in with you guys since the concert. I was a hot mess. You know what? I stressed out all week to have the perfect day with my sister and have the event go so well, and oh my gosh, it was a mess. I think I kind of touched briefly on the whole ticket ordeal. We had no issues getting in whatsoever. My ticket was valid, and I stressed for months for no reason. I stressed the whole way to Nashville for no reason, thinking that we could just be turned away. That was the easiest part of the entire experience. My StubHub, since I bought the resale tickets, they had the timing for the event 30 minutes past when it actually started, and we also got stuck in standstill traffic for 30 minutes. We ultimately got to the venue. Well, okay, then there was issues with the parking, so I had to just leave the parking I was at that I've paid for already and go and find a parking garage that was closer to the venue that I should have just waited and done in general, which ended up being a lot more parking wise. It was just a mess. Oh my God. Anyways, we finally got there. We parked. I was so scattered. I didn't even think to take a picture of where I parked like I normally do when I go to things, because I'm like, girl, you have a bad memory. You need to take a photo of where you've parked. And yeah, I didn't. Oh, it was a hot mess express. And I was so worried about the fucking ticket and just getting in that that's all that was on my mind. And then I went right up there. He scanned it and was like, you're good to go. And I was like, oh my gosh, it was so simple and easy. Yeah, then we get inside at 7:30 and we realized that the opener actually opened at 7. We got there in time to get in line for merch, and the line was so long that we were wrapped around into the venue where we could see the opener already playing. And I was like, oh man, they must already be out here. They end the song and it was their last song. And I was like, oh my gosh, it started at 7, didn't it? We were like, oh no. So I missed the entire opener. Then we stood in the merch line for so long. Mind you, we just drove 4 hours. I had to pee like no other. We stood in the merch line. I got up there. I did get this tea. It's the negative self-talk tea. It's so cute. Look at the little faces. And also the back. I don't know if you guys can see it. Do we see her? Isn't she so cute? Look at her with her arms crossed. Oh my gosh, it's so cute. I got this tea, and then I got one other. I got the Made Up of Moonlight one. It has blue on it, and I don't have any t-shirts like it in my closet. And I was so excited because these were the two I wanted so bad. He was like, I've got your size and the purple, but the other one, I have only 2 sizes up from yours. And I was like, and I'd stood there for so long. I was just like, I'll take it. I'll make it like a dress or something. I'll make it work. He's like, okay. So I got the 2 shirts I wanted. The Ryman Auditorium in Nashville, where we were at for night 3 of this tour, they do these prints, poster prints, a limited amount for each night that you're there, and they're just exclusive to the night. I know that there's lines in my face now. Literally the street lamp just came on. This is nice. Anyways, they were sold out by the time I got up there, so I kind of missed out on that too. Then we literally had minutes before Hayley was hitting the stage. So my sister was like, if you can lock your bladder in, I can lock my bladder. And I was like, okay, let's go get our seats. So yeah, we vibed. It was such a good time, such a good concert. And although our seats could have been better, we weren't in the top. We were down at the bottom over to the side. It was still such an intimate venue that it was still such a cool experience. And I'm so glad I got to experience that with her. It was such a good time. And all the people around us were pretty cool and chill too. I mean, some were getting with it, and just the vibes and the energy and everything was just great. It made me understand a little bit more how special the moment is to have such a small venue, although I think having a huge venue would have fixed a lot of issues with tickets in the beginning, but now she's announcing that she is going to be going to some big venues, so maybe that will change some things for some people who did miss it the first go around. All right, with that being said, yeah, like I said, yesterday, because we drove all the way back home, after the concert, we left and went to the parking garage for our car, and you guys can skip ahead if you don't care, but we went back to the parking garage for the car, and we took the elevator, and we're like, we think we're on the 4th level. We got there, my Jeep wasn't there. We literally, and not, instead of getting back on the elevator, I was just thinking like, it's just gonna be easier to just kind of run around like the garage. We ran up in a parking garage to like the 11th floor. And I was like, trying to hit my panic button and everything. And funny enough, when we were on the 5th floor, I could hit my panic button and we could hear the Jeep, but echoing, you couldn't tell. And I was like, oh, I think it's above us. So we just kept going up to a point to where when I hit my panic button, you could no longer hear it. So not the smartest time in my life, but you know what? It was so much fun, and I know like we're gonna laugh about it for years, and that's what matters. But yeah, we ended up getting back on the elevator once we hit that point where like, let's just start from the bottom up again. And we ended up going down to level 3, and we happened to round the corner of level 3 that goes into level 4, and there was my Jeep. I don't know how we missed it the first time, but I was like, it was on level 4 the whole time. Oh, after that, we grabbed some food, filled up the car, and just powered through and came back home. We only ran into like we've had really bad storms again, and it's super triggering, and the paranoia is at an all-time high because of the bad storms and tornadoes our area had last year. So yeah, the night before the concert, I was making our bracelets, which turned out so cute. And we literally had to hit the basement mid bracelet making because we were under tornado watch. And then it turned a warning. And so yeah, we were in the basement, and it was a lot. So the next day driving, I was like, oh my gosh, like if we're supposed to have severe weather again. We hit one really bad storm. Thankfully it didn't last for too long. But besides that, it just kind of rained on and off the entire trip there and back. And it rained on us going into the venue, but not coming out of the venue. Oh my gosh, it was quite the time, but I laughed so hard. I got to spend like so much uninterrupted time with my sister that I haven't gotten in years, so that was amazing, and we definitely need to do it more often, but it was such a great time. Yeah, as far as the show, that's the update. I've just kind of been chilling, and yesterday I slept in. I just trying to catch up on sleep. Man, I've been going through it this week, so yeah, just trying to catch up on sleep and everything else. I do have a book update for you guys, but first, my sister surprised me with this. And this is the most horrible lighting to show you guys. I'll have to show you in a vlog, maybe this one, whenever I get it up on the wall. I'm trying to figure out where I'm putting it, but how cool is this? Her and her daughter, they do like collage art where they just piece together a bunch of different like craft scraps to make a picture like this. And then obviously it's from Scream, my favorite movie. But so this is all just like collage art, and then she's so talented. She drew Drew Barrymore's face and then Ghostface's like reflection in the window. Oh, it's so good. And like the details on the phone too. Oh my God, it is so incredible. Every time I look at it, I'm just in awe. Just taking it all in and just how creative she is. And then she like crocheted like the blood dripping like around it and then framed it for me. Oh, I told her, I was like, I literally am redoing my bathroom right now. And like mainly just adding like, you know, decor to the wall. I did it in like a recent vlog, and I said it's like all pink and stuff, so like this would be perfect to hang up in my bathroom. But like the more I look at this, I'm like, I don't want to put it in my bathroom. Like I want this on my living room wall where I'm gonna see it all the time. I mean, I use the bathroom a lot, but I'm like, this is art. It needs to be like displayed in here on my living room wall. So I'm like changing plans around and stuff. Oh my gosh, I'm obsessed with it. And she has me, I was going through like her journal, like art journal, and she has me like obsessed with wanting to get into like this collage art. Like I want to make some stuff so bad now. So I'm like brainstorming so many ideas while I have so many other projects going on. Anyways, today and yesterday I did make quite a bit of a way. I've read that much into Molka by Monika Kim. And I don't have too much more to add. I have like, I think less than 100 pages to go. I don't really have much more to add besides the fact that it's gotten a lot darker. Please check your triggers with this one because, oh my lord, it's heavy. And I was like, post-concert depression, and on top of this, like, it's very, very heavy. But like, I feel like this is for the ones that eat up feminine rage. It's very subtle. It's more so like this book is going to fill you with rage. You just feel so hard for these characters, even though they're not quite understanding or getting our main character, though she's not understanding like how severe the position she's in and like what she is going through, like the trauma she's going through right now. She's just trying to survive, I think. Her brain is trying to comprehend everything and she's going through heartbreak, and it's just like, it's so hard. I am so angry for her. And just the talk in general about this like Molka scandal and everything that involves these women being filmed without their knowledge and how sick men can be. Like, I am so angry. And then we jump from our main character to the creepy guy who is putting up these cameras and now forming like an obsession with her. And I do love a good obsession story. And being in his head, I'm enjoying my time because it's so interesting and it's just insane. Like, he's a psychopath, but like there's something so entertaining and like it's almost like one of those things that like it's so horrible you like you can't look away type of ordeal. Like, you have to keep reading because you're just like, what a weirdo. That is the vibe with this. And I'm really enjoying it. Like I said before, I am reading it physically, so it has taken me a little bit longer. And again, mentally, I'm just kind of going through it. And I've been so tired. I've been sleeping a lot. I'm like just trying to catch up. So it has taken me a little bit longer than I had hoped. But I am hoping I can finish it tonight before I go to bed because it'll be the last book for May. Although I did start an audiobook, but it's not for this vlog. So I'm hoping to finish that one as well. If not tonight, maybe tomorrow, but still count it for my April because it's for my Monster Romance Challenge. Don't worry, that vlog will be coming at some point. I think I'm gonna do a 2-part, so you guys will see like halfway through my year, my progress with my Monster Romance Challenge. But yeah, I'm enjoying my time with this. It's kind of made me feel sick quite a few times. It's made me feel so angry, and if anything, it's fueling the rage in me. Like, I want more like female rage books. And I think it's so funny that like I pick up books like this anytime I'm like, I'm gonna mood read. I'm like, female rage, give it to me right now. But I'm excited to see where this goes because right now, like, it's just despair. And I'm just like, girl, pick yourself up and be a bad bitch. Like, oh, I'm waiting for it. Yeah, I don't really want to say much more because I'm feeling like it'll be going more into spoilery territory. So that is the check-in. I will have to show you guys the other t-shirt I got sometime in this vlog. And I am going to figure out my next book that I can read. Long day. But I am excited to jump on here and inform you guys that I did in fact finish Molka. Oh my God, what a ride. And you know what? I took the time to really like binge watch some YouTube videos I was behind on, and I seen like 2 different people review this, and one of them kind of having the same thoughts as me, the other one appreciating what it is, but at the same time being like, female rage books aren't always for me, and the way of like the build up and like hearing about these vile people. And I feel like I can see where they're coming from on both sides. I definitely feel like this is a check your check your triggers. That's your warning too, because it is rather jarring. It is rather intense. And at the same time, I feel like it's there for a purpose, because I feel like sometimes the horror element of a story or of a movie is to terrify us of the realities of the things that are going on in the world. I feel like it's so easy sometimes to just escape what's the reality by going into our books and movies, which honestly is amazing for us as well. I'm not saying that there's anything wrong with that. I do that. But what I'm saying is, whenever you use books and movies and art like that to escape reality all the time, sometimes a gut punch like this, bringing you back to reality in a way of entertainment, but also showing you like real life horrors, is so needed. And it's one of the reasons why I love horror so much. I feel like Monika Kim is a repeated author now who does this, who really paints the picture of really horrible people and really horrible things that are happening in real life, that we should be more aware of. I feel like in a way that this is teaching, this is bringing self-awareness to, you know, what is going on. And this Molka scandal with these hidden cameras are a thing that's happening all over the place. And I feel like you don't hear about it really here in the United States. But you know what? It's one of the reasons why I have such a hard time with staying at Airbnbs. Like, and I don't know why. I really don't, because when you think about it, it would be just as easy, if not easier. Well, not easier, because if you own the Airbnb, it would be super easy to get in there and, you know, put cameras up and around. But it's still, as this book shows, and real life, that it's easy for them to put these cameras in public restrooms and hotels. So it's like, if I carry that mindset, then it's like, oh my God, I'm never leaving my house again. It's to the point where us as women, like, we feel paranoid to use the public restroom, to stay at a hotel, to go to an Airbnb, literally anything. And this book, this guy is literally putting cameras in the women's restroom at their work. So it's like, are they supposed to hold their piss all day long? And that is the only way that they can avoid like being exploited? Like, it's insane. But it's sad that like this isn't just a scary book, it is real life horror. People's privacy every single day just being invaded like that. And it's just, ugh, it grosses me out so bad. I just kept cringing throughout this book, but I feel like it brought up so many good points and really painted the picture, that's for damn sure. And it does bring that female rage element that I feel like for me, it was a slow burn to it. So when we finally got it, I was like, oh, hell yeah. Like, go for it. And it's like, I feel like sometimes we need that. Yes, it's violent. Yes, it's a little over the top. But at the same time, like, my God, like the fact that there's these cases that are different but similar in a way of being brushed aside and, you know, looked at as boys will be boys type of shit is just so frustrating and irritating. And also just not having enough like evidence to really pin it on anybody, and just so many of these creeps getting away with this shit. And yeah, I like how she worded things. I liked how she told the story. I like that we jumped back and forth. I still continued to actually, although like you don't really enjoy what this character is doing, I thought it was nice to also be able to have that point of view from the antagonist. There's a lot of antagonists in this, that's for damn sure. And God, my heart just kept breaking for Daya or Daya. I'm still not sure how you pronounce it. I think the audiobook comes out in like June or July. I definitely would be interested in picking that up for like a reread in the future. But yeah, I enjoyed my time with it. I thought it was really good. I am landing at 5 stars, so I have given her 2 5-stars now. I cannot wait to see what she comes out with next. I think I'm to the point now where I will read anything she puts out. Also, my God, the gory scenes, the slow burn of it, and then when the gory happens, it took me back to the eyes of the best part. I literally gagged. I will say her writing is some of the only writing that actually I feel like makes me physically feel unwell. So kudos to her for being able to do that. But I was like, my God. Like, I need to like pour something in my eyeballs right now because what did I just read? Anyways, besides that, we went and saw Michael, the new Michael Jackson movie, and his nephew Jafar does such an amazing job, you guys. It was so good. If it's still in theaters, probably not by the time this video comes out. I don't even know why I said that. I hope that you were able to see it on the big screen because it was so worth it. Me and James have been talking about it ever since. We're like, that is so good. He's like, man, I think that actually made me a fan. And a little backstory, Michael Jackson was very, very overplayed my entire life. I feel like, not my entire life, but my little sister, one of them, was obsessed with Michael Jackson and still is. She loves him. And oh my goodness, this girl, she played his music non-stop. She also had the Just Dance, so she would dance to it like every single day. We listened to Michael Jackson non-stop, and usually, like, so talented. I love Michael Jackson's music. He's such a talented artist, but it gets to a point to where it's like so overplayed that it was a lot, let me tell you. And then fast forward, like, I would say maybe like 2 years ago-ish, my son became obsessed with him, and I was like, oh my God, I'm getting deja vu. He was Michael Jackson for Halloween one year, really loves his music, and so it's become another big part of my life of listening to his music and stuff. So yeah, we were all, as a family, really excited to go and see the new Michael movie, and I thought it was just so entertaining and heartbreaking at the same time. He really did kind of, you know, although had a lavish life and he got to do a lot of things he loved and did a lot of really great things too. His backstory and stuff, trauma like with his family and his dad and stuff was just heartbreaking. I was like, oh my God, this is heavy. And I'm like looking at my kids like, are you okay? Are you okay? You know, like it's a little heavy. I'm like, get back to the music. But it was so good. I just like went down his childhood with the Jackson 5, all of his brothers and sisters. Although I did see that Janet wasn't in the movie, or nobody portrayed her, and they said that she didn't want anything to do with it. I was like, oh, okay. Don't know what that's about, but it was a really good movie. Bubbles, the chimp, was in it, which was so cool. As soon as he like got out of the vehicle, I was like, oh, is that Bubbles? I was whispering in a room, I was like, is that Bubbles? We know a lot of Michael Jackson lore around here. But yeah, it was really, really good. But yeah, James was like, I think I might actually be a fan now. And then we were talking about it, we're like, I would go back to theaters to watch it again. It was so good. A lot of iconic performances and just kind of like his breakaway from the Jackson 5 and, you know, so much stuff. But yeah, his nephew did an amazing job. I don't know how much of it like he sung. I don't know all of the lore behind the movie and all of that. But I have heard that he did sing some of it, which is insane. And everything else that he did, the dances and all of that, oh my gosh, phenomenal. Anyways, I thought I would check in, review this book, talk about the movie, but I am exhausted. So I'm gonna chill for the night. I'm so tired, but I'm sitting here drinking a Red Bull, which this is the spring edition, the Cherry Sakura. Oh, I'm not even showing you guys. I was gonna I was gonna journal for a little bit, and I'm so tired, so I was like, I'm gonna do some laundry and journal, maybe watch something, and sip a Red Bull at night. Oh my God. But I'm not a Red Bull fan, but this is actually one that like, I don't mind, but I really like cherry stuff. James tried it and he was like, you want this? Because I can't drink this. Anyways, yeah, I'm gonna do that, and I will be reading more this week. I've got to figure out what I'm reading next. Oh, still not perfect. Maybe if I scoot back a little bit. I have you guys at my desk today because today is Grady Hendrix's book club, and I was fortunate enough to be in the Void book club that I have talked about many times here on my channel. I absolutely love being a part of it. I've been trying to be a little bit more present lately, and hopefully like this summer I'll be able to be a lot more present for it. But anyways, since Grady Hendrix has joined our book club and has been, you know, somebody that we read from, and, you know, he joins the club to talk about his books and all of that, he invited in the Void book club to his first ever, I think it's called like the Scary book club or something like that. He did just post this morning and I shared it in my stories. I thought it was pretty cool. He said, today is the very first meeting of Super Scary Haunted Book Club. That's what it is. And then he put hashtag if you know, you know, which is so cool because I know. And I get to join within the Void, and it's just gonna be a pretty casual time. No like public speaking for me, so that's great. I always like put pressure on myself. I'm like, ask questions. You need to ask questions. And then like I hardly ever, because like I'll think of a really cool question, but like I'll just tense up and be like, I can't do this. I can't public speak. But the cool part is Sarah, who hosts the In the Void book club, she is the speaker on behalf of In the Void book club. And I was gonna go through the Discord. I'm sure like everybody always has amazing questions in our book club. They're just that cool. So I'm sure any questions I had, he is going to, or she is probably going to already have. So yeah, she'll be speaking on behalf of us. We are, okay, listen. The book club is over. I actually have to start getting my laptop set up, which is right underneath you guys. I don't know if you guys will be able to see it. No. I have to get my Zoom ready. I'm always like, ugh, how is the lighting gonna be? And my MacBook isn't even that old yet. Like, I swear my camera is like the most pixelated thing in the world. Anyways, while I get that pulled up, I just wanted to say that this is over Shirley Jackson's classic, The Haunting of Hill House. I've talked about it here before. I think I read it in a video a long time ago. And as we know, Shirley Jackson is a very hit or miss author for me. Like, she just is. Just popped up. Hold on. Let me see. I wish like they got this view that you guys are getting, but it's not. And my camera's off and I'm muted. I'm always like so nervous though that like it actually isn't. So yeah, Shirley Jackson's always been kind of like hit or miss for me. I really enjoyed like The Lottery. She also did like a nonfiction on like the Salem witch trials and like the Salem village, which was really good. But I've read a couple other short stories. I can't think of what they were off the top of my head, but they just didn't really hit with me at all. And they do with other people, so I'm like, maybe like she's not the one for me. And then I read The Haunting of Hill House, but it was after I watched Mike Flanagan's Netflix show, and like, I knew that they were similar but very different. And yes, they are. And like, you guys know if you've been around my channel for a while that like Mike Flanagan's The Haunting of Hill House is like one of my favorite all-time shows. So there's a lot to compete with there, and I know like hers is a classic and like that is like the original thing, so like I respect it. I wouldn't have Mike Flanagan's Haunting of Hill House without it, you know, like there's stuff like that that I just think is so cool. Yeah, I just thought like going into it I was gonna love it so much more than what I did. I just didn't. Instead of like a family, we have like these strangers that are coming together. The concept is really cool. I wish I could pitch it better for you guys with the amount of time I have. I don't have the time, but it really is just like these strangers getting together at this place, and it's like a classic haunted house story vibe. It was somewhat entertaining, just not what I was expecting, and I just ultimately didn't end up loving it as much as I hoped. But I also feel like which is saying something that like a lot of it even left me, because I think my expectations were so high and it just didn't deliver that. Like, it's just one of those books that really didn't stay with me. Sorry, I have a hair. That was the, yum, it was one of my cats. That was the book pick. I did not reread it. I'm not like bummed to go into this because I have read it already. If anything, I'm kind of hoping for this video, since I'm mood reading, I'm hoping that Grady Hendrix will have the power to persuade me into my reread of it. So I'm kind of doing the opposite of what everybody else is doing. Everybody else reread it or read it for the first time to join this book club, where I'm going into it being like, I've read it before, but you know, I'm here to have you convince me to reread it. And maybe Allie now will love it way more than, you know, what I did previously. So I don't know. He has just such a way with words, and I just know it's going to be such a fun time hearing him talk about it, that either way it's going to be a good time. Even if it doesn't convince me that I'm in the mood, you know, mood reading to pick it up next, that's okay. I will say I did order a copy for this book club. Still haven't got it. I think it's actually supposed to be in today, so if we get that, that'll be cool too. I would like to have a copy of it, and I think that will help also convince me for the reread. On top of that, I am going to be reading with somebody who's actually, she's in the Void Book Club, and she is joining this today as well. She's been rereading The Haunting of Hill House, Christina, and she is going to be reading a bunch of nonfictions this year. And I was like, oh my gosh, I am too. And she was like, I would love to buddy read. She did like a whole post about it, and I was like, you have some witchy books that I really want to get to. So I'm like, just let me know whenever you start like the witch books. I think she had like 3 different witch books and one about Joan of Arc. And I was like, I've been trying to read more nonfiction this year too, and all of those sound so interesting to me. So like, let me know when you start one of those. And she was like, I'm starting this one now. Well, I think she's going to start it this coming week. So I ordered it too, and it's supposed to be here today or tomorrow as well. I think it's like How to Kill a Witch. It's something about like silencing women, or like the history of silencing women. And I think it goes into like the whole Salem witch trials and all of that. I'm really excited, and I get to buddy read it with her. And I feel like it's going to be perfect for like this like mood reading era that I'm going through right now, because it just sounds so good and what I am really wanting right now. But yeah, I'm really excited for this. I will check in with you guys hopefully later to let you guys know how this goes.
Those are coffins. Okay. My name is Sarah from In the Void. We are a quarterly book club, and we meet virtually. So for June, we are reading the suburban horror Good Neighbors by Sarah Langan, and she is going to be joining us as a guest.
Oh, nice.
That's really fun because it kind of leans a little bit thriller, and that's, you know, a new direction for us as well. Yeah.
Awesome. And last but not least,
Something hilarious. Not really. I kind of want to die inside. I did a lot of filming like towards the end of April, or like towards the end, not the end, because everything was going to be so busy and crazy the very end of April going into May. And I was like, I've got to get this done. I powered through. I filmed so much. And okay, for context, one of my SD cards corrupted. Thankfully, I was able to get everything, save everything off of it, but I just can no longer use it. And I was like, okay, I'm getting down to like 1 card now, so I'm gonna order 2 more. SD cards are so expensive. And I seen this deal through Walmart going on that I could order it, get it in 2 days, and it was like 2 SD cards, really good amount of storage for the price of 1. Okay, so I was like, I'm gonna try it. It's a new to me brand, but I'm gonna try it. I filmed so much content on one of them. Hold on, getting a call. Sitting down to go through it now. I finished the Grady Hendrix live, which was incredible. We'll talk about it. But I was sitting down to like figure out my videos for this week because I have so many videos that are like just about done. I just have to edit the last bits to them. Thankfully I have Mondays, so that's good. I don't know about the rest of this week. I'll have to figure it out. But I put that card in and realized that like only like a handful of the videos actually work, and they're crystal clear. They look amazing, they sound amazing, and then any clips after those, when you click on them, it's a black screen and it's like this ear-splitting noise that's just ringing, and I have no idea. So I'm like, so these are bad cards, they're not good cards. Great, I'm so glad I spent the money on them. And all of that to say, I'm currently filming on the other one right now, so you guys may not even see this. But I'm trying it out, but like it's one of those things where now every time I film on this card, the other one's going in the trash. But now I'm like, is it the brand though, or is it just a fluke with the one? I don't know, but like I'm gonna be paranoid every single time I film, and I just know, I don't know. One of my biggest pet peeves is filming something and being like so excited and like, you know, showing my authentic self and like gushing about something, talking about something that I love and reviewing something, and then like losing that footage. It kills me because it's like, I feel like I can't recreate that. But like, then what do I do with the vlog? And then it's like, if you throw out the whole vlog, it's so annoying, so annoying. I know, first world problems, but if you vlog or make content or whatever, then you probably know, you've probably experienced this at least once, and it is awful every single time. I also didn't know that like with iMovie, you have to double check it every time it exports, because back when this was just my beauty channel, I couldn't tell you how many videos, probably like halfway towards the end, are just a frozen screen of me with no audio, because my computer would tell me that they were successfully exported, but really they weren't. So I just kept uploading them, and I'm the type of person where like I watch through my video before I upload it, like through iMovie, and then I export it and upload. And yeah, I've learned my lesson with that too. And I'm just wondering how many are out there of me doing that. But please don't look for it. I need to take down all of the old videos, oh my god. Anyways, the meeting with Grady Hendrix was incredible. I love him. I think my favorite thing about him is that I always go away from any of his like speeches or talks or whatever with so many recommendations, and one of them is the fact that he actually has a super scary podcast, and I'm gonna definitely be checking it out. I think he said like the first 9 episodes he's just talking about vampires, and I'm like, yes, that's my bread and butter. And then these last 3 episodes, he has been talking about haunted houses. So that's really cool. I have a bunch of random notes. I was trying to like scribble. I think he's inviting all of us, like all the book clubs, back in October. We're going to be reading, I hope that In the Void participates. If In the Void participates, I will definitely make the time to be there. But he said that they're going to be reading We Sold Our Souls, which is one of his books. He's like, I'm sorry to like self-promote, but you know, and I'm like, no, Grady, it's perfect, because that is like one of the only Grady Hendrix books I still have not read. So it's like, it's gonna force me to finally get to it this year. And then December, he said A Christmas Carol, and I think that's so cool. He talked about how like he shows up for so many of these book clubs, and there was quite a few on there. And how much he loves it, but like he sometimes feels stretched thin and like he can't be there for everything. And he was like, I thought that this would be a really cool way of like making my own book club and like being able to invite all of the book clubs to my book club. And I'm just like, that is incredible. I loved it so much. I also found it really cool that like 2 of the other like book clubs were located in Missouri, just like me. One of them is like a bookstore and brewery in Springfield, Missouri. And then the other one is like right outside of, I was like looking up, where are they at? How far away are they? Because they're like outside of Springfield, quite a ways from me. I think it's like 3.5 hours, unfortunately. But they said that there was a group of them, and they were literally sitting in a funeral home, literal caskets behind them. And they're like, we meet for our book club every month at the funeral home. And I'm like, oh, I wish you lived closer to me, or I wish I lived closer to you because I would be showing up. I do plan on going to Springfield again, I think in June. CJ Lead is going to be in Springfield, so I really want to show up for that, and I would be tempted to check out the bookstore and brewery while I'm there. I'm going to have to try to keep them in mind because they seemed really cool, and yeah, it was really fun. Amazing conversations. I literally was messaging the In the Void Club on Discord like while we were chatting, and my message was literally like talking about how like I watched Mike Flanagan's before I read The Haunting of Hill House for the first time, and I normally don't do that, but like I enjoyed Shirley Jackson's, but like not as much as Mike Flanagan's. I liked the family dynamic, I liked the cinematography, I loved everything. Like I love the inspo he took from Shirley Jackson's story, but I feel like he took it there much more, and it was just, oh, it's such a good show. I talk about it all the time. I said it's been quite a few years since I've read this, and I was hoping this chat would inspire me to pick up Shirley's for the reread, and it really has. And then I just mentioned how I kind of did the opposite. I'll be starting my reread now with all of the ideas, thoughts, and theories from the Zoom in mind. Again, thank you to Sarah from In the Void for your lovely book club, because without you, we wouldn't have been able to show up to this today, and it was just so cool. Yeah, I also crocheted. I was seeing some people like posting it in their stories, and every single one that I'm in, my head's like down. And it was because I was crocheting. I was listening, but I was crocheting. That, or I was like messaging in the Discord. But I do have another butterfly I have to do. That's what I'm working on right now. And I'm editing, of course, crying on the inside because I have to make the time this coming week to refilm everything that I lost and sound like a broken record when I'm having to say like, oh, I lost this footage. And yeah, that's going to be so much fun and just a highlight to my week, if you will. The only other things I was going to mention is he was asked about like books, like recommendations, and he mentioned two different ones, Private Demons and Rather Haunted Life. They're two nonfics about Shirley Jackson and her life. He also mentioned The Elementals by Michael McDowell. Highly recommend that too. He said that is a perfect haunted house story, and I would have to agree. It is incredible. I love that book so much. Maynard's House by Herman Rosher, however you say that. He did mention that one. He said it's a phenomenal book, but he said there is a lot of problematic stuff in it, like an underage relationship type of ordeal. So I don't know when I will get to that one, if at all. And then he also mentioned The House Next Door by Anne Rivers Sidones. I don't know. I was kind of scribbling. My handwriting is horrible. I will have to look them all up on Goodreads, but yeah, I was just like, I will always take recommendations from Grady Hendrix though. I did in fact get my books today that I was supposed to. I got my copy of The Haunting of Hill House for my reread, so I will probably be doing that in this for just whenever I feel like picking it up. And I also got How to Kill a Witch. I really wanted a copy of this. I know I could have probably got it from my library, but it is stunning. It is The Patriarchy's Guide to Silencing Women. It is another nonfic that I think I'm going to love. I recently did a Scream With Me vlog. It was like women in horror and all. It in fact corrupted, sorry, do not mind my face, but it in fact did corrupt on like the second clip towards the end. If you're wearing headphones, please take them out or skip ahead because this is ear splitting. But this is what I'm talking about. You have to let me know if you have dealt with this. So I'm talking normally. Although I filmed it, and is that not wild? And then it just like, it stays like that for the rest of this clip. And then the next clip is literally just a black screen with that noise. I'm so irritated. I can use like all of this one and then part of that one, but all of that to now finish what I was saying on my phone. But you know what? I was glad I got to test it out with you guys, because I would have been pissed if I kept filming clips on this card thinking like it was going to work, when obviously I guess neither one of them are going to work and they're just both trash. What I was saying was my Scream With Me vlog, I filmed in March, but I'm uploading it literally in May. It's going to be so late. But I read a nonfic in it called Scream With Me, and it is about horror movies from like the 60s, the 70s, the 80s, and how they intertwine with like what was like the real life horrors that were going on with women, domestic violence, equal rights, reproductive rights, things like that, that like we are still facing today. It's a really, really good read, and I will link that video up above because you guys should see it before this one. Besides that, though, I had just mentioned how I was really excited for these two because I am buddy reading this one with a friend from In the Void. So yeah, I feel like everything with In the Void has just kind of like made plans fall into my lap for this mood reading vlog, and I absolutely love it. And I also said that I would check back in with you guys soon after I start these, or I have some type of like, you know, things to talk to you guys about with it. And then besides that, I was like, now let me see if this footage actually worked. And it in fact did not work fully, so bummer. Okay, you guys. I'm a hot mess, okay? I washed my hair last night, went to bed with it wet, threw it up on a clip today. I literally just got off work. I got off work a little early today, so I was like, press record. This week has been so draining and killer. Roman's week next week is insane. Like, he's excited, but I'm like, I'm exhausted just from looking at it, and I don't even have to participate in most of it. But it's still like teachers asking shirt sizes for play days, and then figuring out what play days there are because I have to make sure I send sunblock with my gingers. And it's, oh my gosh, it's one thing after another. Roman literally next week is like, gets to walk to a nearby restaurant with his entire class for lunch on Monday. And then that night is the night that we are, I believe, yeah, that night when we pick up the kids, I'm taking off work a little early, and we're gonna, when James and Roman gets home from work and school, we're gonna go check out Axel a little early, go to St. Louis for a concert. On a school night, mind you, but we're like, it's the end of the year, like, it's the boys' first concert. But this was kind of like our end of the year, like, celebration. Yeah, it's happening while school still is in session, but like, we're trying to make the most of it, not knowing that this was gonna be the busiest effing week ever, because then Tuesday, I was like, you boys can like skip school that day if you want, and I can take off, and that way like we can just all like sleep in and stuff like that. And they're like, oh no, we're going to school. We want to go to school. Like, they're excited for all of like their end of the year stuff. And Axel has like an ice cream party or something. And then Roman has literally another field trip back 2.5 hours away. James is like going with him to that one to Topgolf. And then the next day, I think, is like during the day, the kids are going to like the local skating rink for a field trip. And then Thursday of that week, I'm driving and meeting Roman in Tennessee for another field trip. It's like some type of like museum. And Friday, I don't know if there's anything going on, but I do know like next weekend is when we're having Axel's party. So then we're gonna have that, and we're gonna be hosting people, and I'm exhausted already just thinking about it. Like, I don't know how, I thought like this week wasn't gonna be bad, and this week hasn't been near as busy as next week's gonna be, and I'm dying already. So yeah, send your, I don't even know what. You can keep your thoughts and prayers, but maybe send me good vibes. Oh my gosh, it has been a time. And today is actually Axel's birthday, so I didn't plan on filming today, and that's why I just kind of look like a hot mess too. But I was like, you know what? Before I go pick him up, I have a little bit of time. I wanted to check in, things are just gonna be really busy. So like this vlog is just gonna be all over the place and I apologize. But yeah, today is his birthday. My baby, my second born is 10. Is that not insane? Like my last baby I had is 10 years old. Oh, I feel so old. Which I had my kids young, you know, so it's like, I'm not old, but like it still makes me feel that way because I'm like, I've taken care of kids. Like Roman's gonna be 13 this year. I'm like, I have taken care of kids for 13 years. Like it's insane. Anyways, I am a little over halfway into How to Kill a Witch. My reading has been a little slow this week, but I've had fun buddy reading this with Christina. We've been messaging back and forth on Instagram a little bit here and there. And I'm glad like she's like, yeah, I need to catch up, you know, and I'm just sitting there thinking like, you're good because my week has been so busy that like I committed to this buddy read and then I'm like, shit. Like I can barely make the time for it. But I am really enjoying my time with it. Kind of what I told her so far. We have made it past, I feel like, all the beginning parts of it that really talks about like Scotland and like pretty much like the witch trials there, because they talk about how like all of the famous witch trials were always about like Salem and how a lot of people don't really know the history of like what happened in Scotland. And I will say these ladies are just such a blast to listen to. Apparently they have a podcast. I will probably butcher their names. Zoe Venditozzi and Claire Mitchell. I hope I'm saying Zoe's last name right. They actually have a podcast together and they narrate their book together. I got the audiobook through my library Hoopla app and it's just phenomenal. I love it. Their accents are so pretty. And I just put it on and it just it does kind of feel like a podcast vibe. I will say, and I was telling Christina too, and she noticed it, that if you are tandem reading these, like with your eyeballs and listening at the same time, which I have found myself doing when I have the time to sit down and like look at it, I want to keep listening because I love their accents and like the way that they narrate it. And there's parts in the audiobook that are not in the book. And it was really throwing me off for a while. And I was like, there's a lot of extra bits. I mean, I like it, but it does kind of throw you off if you're tandem reading it a little bit. I don't think it's to the point of you're missing out on a lot, but there is still some, you know, little extra things here and there with the audiobook, which I kind of think is cool. Besides that, it just talked about like the history of like, I mean, pretty much what each section is called. Part 1 is the law of the land, how to believe in magic, how to start a witch hunt. And then it just was like talking about what like makes a woman like a witch back then, like the simplest thing that nowadays is just like mental health or a woman just not wanting to listen to a man. You know, like it just breaks down so many different things and talks about like history of like real women who were accused of being a witch and like just the torture they went through. It was horrible. I did get one of my, me and Christina are both in the book club in the Void, and they're doing a Clue scavenger hunt where you have to find like some words from Clue this year, and I did find a Clue word. Besides that, part 2 was building a case, and it talks about like how people would accuse witches, what they would go through, the whole system of like pricking a witch to like, they would say like if they are pricked and they don't bleed, oh, they're automatically a witch. If they had some type of mole, birthmark, something on them, they say it's a kiss from the devil, they're a witch. It really goes into like that history. And also we have the bozo, what's his name? Oh, it doesn't even matter. He was like one of those like kings that was just awful. And during his time, he like wrote a book about it and about like what makes a witch and pretty much the whole process of like what to do if you encounter a witch. Just an absolute a-hole. How to gather evidence against a witch. And then different people who were accused and their stories, what they went through, how their trials went down. We did finally get to, in this part 2, we did get to some of the Salem witch trials, which I have done my research on. I've done a lot of research on the Salem witch trials. I even read Shirley Jackson's nonfiction about the Salem village and like all of that, and that one is really good. I know it pretty well, so that wasn't like any new news to me, but I did like how they would compare it to like what was also going on in Scotland, and it's just been a rather good read. I did tell Christina, I'm like, I'm gonna need like a good female rage book after this because I'm big mad. Like, I'm so mad right now for these women and these families and like what they went through and how these innocent people were just, because they didn't meet the criteria of like what these white men wanted, and that, or it was literally like you could become a professional like witch accuser where you would go and you would be the one that would like literally prick a woman with a needle to tell people if she was a witch or not. And if she was a witch and you told them that, you would get paid per head, meaning they're going to try to make sure every single woman is a witch so that they're paid. It's so gross. My God, I get so mad. I'm like, I don't know if this is the best book for me to be reading right now, but it has been really good. I feel like as a nonfic and for, you know, the history and the way that they have like compiled it together is really good. I definitely want to check out their podcast in the future. I'm enjoying my time, so I thought I would check in, let you guys know. I think I'm close to part 3 now, so I do think I'll at least be able to check this book off my list this week, hopefully. Yeah, my reading is rather slow, and I feel like there's going to be a little bit of a pattern of that until the end of the year, unless I can really start fitting some reading in, but it's so busy. I just want to sleep for days. Hello, you guys. I am back. I have finished How to Kill a Witch. It was a really fun buddy read with my friend Christina. I do have quite a bit of thoughts on this, but I wish I could remember what all I said in the last part, because I think I was almost to like part 3. I will say the last bit of this after I left you guys was mainly just very repetitive stuff. And by repetitive, I mean things that like I already know. I feel like I've studied the Salem witch trials so many times that none of it was like new information for me, but I did really like how it was told. I liked all of their backings and like what they had to say about it. I felt like it was still a really interesting time. I am landing at a 4-star. I took the jacket off. I don't know if I mentioned this earlier in this video or not about like this weird design. I was like, this is so weird to be like the design on this. And then I found out that it is the actual flag that they made. I guess they made like a flag to represent the Witches of Scotland or whatever, like their podcast, but also like as kind of like a memorial. Yeah, the Witches of Scotland, it's their podcast. They work to get a legal pardon and apology for those accused, and now there is officially recognized tartan, so that's what it is, like a tartan, that serves as a living memorial, and this is the pattern. I thought that was really cool. Besides that, the ending really went into how so many like instances are still the same. How there is literally witch trials still going on in this day and age, and women are being accused of so many things. And I loved all of those conversations, and also making sure that it's known that this is still happening, even if it's not happening in your part of the world, it's happening in other parts of the world. And there is actually full-blown like witch hunts going on. It's scary and sad, and it's unbelievable, honestly, when you read back to those times, and like their reasonings for anything were so stupid. And to think that in this day and age, stuff like that is still going on is batshit wild to me. Anyways, a really, really good nonfic, and I'm so glad that I fit another nonfiction into my year. I've had some really, really good ones. Hello, you guys. I feel like it's been a minute again. I am, though, rocking my other Hayley tee that I said at the beginning of this that I would have to show you guys at some point. I will say, it's already like starting to fade. I've only washed it like once, and like you can't, it says made up of moonlight, and then it has like this shatter on it. You can't see it very well, but it's oversized. It's so comfortable. I love it so much. I've been wearing it with biker shorts. I love it. I wanted to just briefly jump on here today because I don't really have too much to talk about with my mood rating. It's kind of been put on the back burner because I finally sat down and started editing and seeing what all, my cat is going crazy right now if you guys hear that, but what all I have going, and it's a lot. There's some videos, when I say some, there's like 5 different videos where I need to read like one more book for each video, and then like it's ready to be edited and uploaded. So I'm the procrastination queen, so that's what I'm currently working on. So yeah, I need to get with it. But I have started my reread of The Haunting of Hill House by Shirley Jackson. Grady Hendrix inspired me to get back into this. I'm not very far at all. We've kind of had this setup where we were introduced to Eleanor, Theodora, and I'm drawing a blank, Luke. Oh my gosh. Kind of just like who they are. Eleanor is living with her sister, I believe it's her sister and brother-in-law, and her sister, they share a vehicle. And she is urging her sister saying, I own this vehicle, I want to take it with me, I'm going to this house. And her sister's like, no, like what if you damage it? Like, what if something bad happens? Blah, 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 blah. I think in a way, we're supposed to take this as her sister encouraging her not to go on this trip, that it could be dangerous. But it also just kind of seems like very selfish, and like she's like, you go, but you leave the car here. I guess I should start it by also saying, we know about Dr. John Montague, who is kind of like investigating this house and inviting a bunch of these strangers who have all had weird things happen to them. This is one of the first book references where you have Eleanor, who as a child was in a situation where rocks rained from the sky. So he thinks that there's something superstitious about her. So he's like, let's invite her. We've got to see if this house is haunted. It's that type of vibe. They've all kind of experienced something weird, so they're like, let's bring them in because maybe they'll be able to resonate with the house or bring something out of the house, because that is what he is wanting to do. Luke is related to the people, I think is it his grandmother or aunt or something like that, who owns a house, but we have found out that he's kind of a shady person. He is a thief. He likes to steal things, and yeah, so it's kind of like we kind of have to watch him a little bit, but like he is probably going to inherit Hill House one of these days, so we're gonna invite him along. I do just have to say, this is the opening line for The Haunting of Hill House. No live organisms can continue for long to exist sanely under conditions of absolute reality. Even larks and katydids are supposed by some to dream. Hill House, not sane, stood by itself against its hills, holding darkness within. It had stood so for 80 years and might stand for 80 more. Within, walls continued upright, bricks met neatly, floors were firm, and doors were sensibly shut. Silence lay steadily against the wood and stone of Hill House, and whatever walked there walked alone. It is so good. I remember picking this up for the first time and reading that first paragraph and being like, oh hell yeah, I'm gonna love this book, and then it just fell flat for me. I don't know. I will say, I think Eleanor was very off-putting to me the first time, where I feel like this time I may not mind it as much, since maybe I know what I'm getting into, but I don't know, we'll see. I think my heart is still just always gonna be with The Haunting of Hill House, I know as Mike Flanagan's, because I just love the family dynamic so much, and the characters, the actors and that, everything is just incredible. What Mike Flanagan did with it honestly is like the first, I think, TV show that ever like actually really blew my mind. It's just so good. So I am going to keep reading this. I'm excited to continue it for my little mood reading because I actually am in the mood for it. I'm just hoping it doesn't go south because I'm like, this is my mood reading vlog and I'm picking up a book that I may end up not being in the mood to read, and it's like, do I continue then? But it is pretty short. I have some time this afternoon, so I think I'm gonna try to barrel through. All right, so I am kind of glammed up for another vlog that I'm working on. This doesn't really have anything to do with my mood reading, but I have finished The Haunting of Hill House, so I wanted to jump on here and review it for you guys. Don't get me wrong, I still prefer Mike Flanagan's. Like I've mentioned, I feel like I'm a broken record right now. I love the family dynamic. I love the characters. I just feel like Mike Flanagan's characters were so fleshed out. And in ways that I truly enjoyed. I loved that they were troubled people and actually like they felt very authentic and real life people. And I feel like sometimes you don't get that in this, and then sometimes you do. Or I guess I used to not feel like you got that in this, where this time around, I feel like the characters aren't as fleshed out, but I feel like for an older horror book, she really breaks down each character, and I had a lot more fun this time experiencing that and like really getting to know each of them as the story went, and I loved it this time. Like, I think this was a right book, wrong time, and I'm starting to notice more of that. So I'm like, there's so many books that I feel like I need to revisit. I keep saying it. Maybe one of these days. Also, is he not the cutest boy? You're the cutest boy. He's purring. Yeah, my 4-star is going to a 5-star. I really, really loved it. It is a classic that I feel like still really holds up. And if you struggled with this one, whether it's because of the new show or I don't know, maybe the writing in general and stuff, I encourage you to pick it up in the future. Give it some time. If it's been a while, I feel like maybe I just needed to mature a little bit more to even pick up this one. Maybe my mental health wasn't in the best place then, and it's better now, so I was able to enjoy it more. I don't know, I just feel like there was a lot of factors that I'm questioning now because my time with this, oh my God, I loved it. And my favorite was finding little things that like Mike Flanagan used, and I started highlighting some of it. I honestly didn't highlight that much more throughout it, but this is my favorite thing about it and like the show. It's one of like the aspects I love. It's not a huge spoiler. In the book, Eleanor is at a restaurant. There's this mother and father and their little girl, and the mother goes, she wants her cup of stars. Indeed, yes, Eleanor thought, indeed, so do I. A cup of stars, of course. And the mother says, her little cup. It has stars in the bottom, and she always drinks her milk from it at home. She calls it her cup of stars because she can see the stars while she drinks her milk. And then she says, you'll have your milk from your cup of stars tonight. I guess I should clarify by saying, I want to make myself a little decorative cup of stars because of what it means. So yes, it's a cool idea of having your cup of stars, and it sounds so cool. But this message is why I want my own cup of stars. The mother says, you'll have your milk from your cup of stars tonight when we get home, but just for now, just be a very good little girl. Will you take a little milk from this glass? And Eleanor is thinking to herself, she says, don't do it, she told the little girl, insist on your cup of stars. Once they have trapped you into being like everyone else, you will never see your cup of stars again. Don't do it. The little girl glanced at her and smiled a little subtle, dimpling, wholly comprehending smile and shook her head stubbornly at the glass. Brave girl, Eleanor thought. Wise, brave girl. I just love it. I love the meaning behind that, and I feel like Shirley Jackson was like ahead of the time of, you know, making these defiant, stubborn girls who say no. Besides that, it's a haunted house story. It's a classic. They're all brought together through this home, and these strange, eerie things start happening. The Dudleys, who upkeep the house, they're like, you know, once food's put on the table, we're gone. We're not staying here. We don't stay here at night. People don't stay here at night. But it's almost like they're robots saying it, like they're repeating it over and over and over again. But it is just that foreshadowing and that warning to get out. And it is just so, I don't know, it's so unsettling because it really is building up to something, and then these weird things start happening, and it also plays into that, like, am I just losing my mind? Am I mentally not well? But we all know the house is not sane. Besides that, I just highlighted some facts about like the characters or some of the things they would say or how they would feel that were very similar to the characters that I love from Mike Flanagan's. Anyways, I feel like I could talk about this all day. I'll leave you guys there with that. A 5-star. Absolutely loved it, and so glad I got to be a part of Grady Hendrix book club. So thanks again to In the Void.
Over and over it comes back in a dream. I can't just sleep it away. Expectations and the death of what they mean. What does it all mean? I can't wake up. Everything's so confusing. What should I do if all the words I utter turn to nothing into dust? It'd be so surreal if you could find any meaning in the dust. What should I feel?
I think Good Neighbors.
Yeah.
I don't want to be a robot.
That's a hot take nowadays. Do you know that?
I do.
Holy shit, you guys. This video is so long. It is so long. So I'm gonna wrap this up here. I wanted to get to like 2 more books, like this one and then another one. I sat down to edit this morning, which I was also cramming this read in, trying to get it done as fast as possible because I waited till last minute again, shocker, and I ordered this book rather late for my book club pick. This was the In the Void book club pick, and yeah, the live show was earlier, but we had Sarah Langan join us, and it was a blast. Yeah, I kind of set out to finish this mood reading vlog in May anyways, and now we're in June, so I thought, you know what, throw in one more review, let's wrap this up, because I was sitting down and whenever I could set this one down, I would start like editing, and I was kind of going back and forth, and I was like, oh my gosh, this video is so long. If you have made it all the way through this, thank you so much. I appreciate it. I don't know how, because just editing, I was like, oh my God, it's hard to get through this because there's so much footage, but I had so much fun mood reading. I think I need to have like a monthly vlog where I kind of just either mood read or grab something from the TBR jar, and it's just kind of a random vlog like this where there's like bits and ends of, you know, clips or photos or whatever we're doing that doesn't really involve any other vlogs that I'm doing, and just throw them in here for you guys because I've had so much fun with this video and there's not really a theme to it. It's just a mood reading vlog, so yeah. But maybe not make them as long. I think I just enjoyed it so much that I just kept extending it. Anyways, let's wrap this up. I did read Good Neighbors from Sarah Langan and joined my virtual book club called In the Void. They are so cool. It is hosted by Sarah on Instagram. It's Voided Lux, and she's incredible. I've been a part of this book club for quite a while now. I've mentioned it many times here on my channel. And yeah, she puts together a virtual book club meeting over Zoom, and sometimes the authors join us, and it was such a good conversation and getting to know more about this. So Good Neighbors is Welcome to Maple Street, a picture-perfect slice of suburban Long Island. Its residents bound by their children, their work, and their illusion of safety in a rapidly changing world. All I could think about was Desperate Housewives vibe, you know, where each house has like a family dynamic going on, and I feel like this is one of the only books I've read like this that really dive into the characters. Like, there's so much going on here with the characters, and there is also a little map of like all of the houses of this like neighborhood, and a list of who all is in each home, and it was a lot in the beginning. I was like, whew, this is a lot to intake. I have read Megan Miranda's. I cannot think off the top of my head what it's called, but it's like her suburban thriller. That one kind of like, I got those vibes. Like it took me back to reading that book, and I actually really enjoyed that thriller. There was another one I was thinking of that this reminded me of, and now off the top of my head, I can't even think of it. I feel like it's one that I read more recently. I don't know. Anyways, but when the Wild family moves in, they trigger the neighbors' worst fears. Arlo and Grady and their weird kids don't fit in with the way Maple Street sees itself. As tensions mount, a sinkhole opens in a nearby park, and Queen Bee, Rhea's daughter Shirley, falls inside. The search for Shirley brings a shocking accusation against the Wilds. Suddenly, it is one mother's word against the others in a court of public opinion that can end only in blood. This was actually a really wild time. I have read from Sarah before. I believe it was just short stories though, so this is the first like full-on novel. I am super stoked for her new one coming out this fall called Tradwife. The whole Tradwife craze mixed with horror, I'm here for it. I cannot wait to get to that book. But this one didn't really feel as much horror as it just felt very thriller, slightly suspense, because you have like this sinkhole and you don't really know what's going to happen with that. But I feel like it was just more of a drama thriller, because like you have all of these people just like losing their minds, and this person said this and this person said that, and it's very he said she said situation, and it's kind of devastating because you're trying to put the pieces together too of like, what is going on here? Who's guilty? Who did this? Or who did that? And I don't know. There's a lot going on here, and there is a lot with the characters, but I feel like if you can get the hang of that while reading it, I feel like it's such a fun time. Not my typical book that I pick up, and I'll be completely honest, I probably wouldn't have if it wasn't for my book club picking this one up, because I've just checked out of thrillers for a really long time now. But I had a really good time with this. My favorite part of it was the writing. I really like her storytelling, so I know for future books of hers that I pick up, I know I'll really like that. But yeah, I'm excited to see a horror from her, or something that has more horror elements than what this did, to see how much more it'll work for me. I think I'm landing at a 3 or 4 with this one. It's an in-between, but I think since I've said 3, it probably is leaning more towards a 3, and I really just feel like it's just more so because this isn't my typical go-to. So like, what did I expect? Nonetheless, this is my reading vlog. I had such a great time with this one. It wasn't like I wasn't in the mood for it. Sure, I put it off to the last minute, but I was like, you know what? That sounds like a good time. Let's pick it up. So the days that I have been reading this, I've really enjoyed it. And that's literally all that matters now. Anyways, that is the video. I hope you guys enjoyed this super long video. Yeah, maybe some more mood reading vlogs, but with like less footage. Like, let's tone it down a little bit. Thank you again. I appreciate it, and I will see you in my next video.